It's that time of the night. Let's fake a deal. Johnny, you looked kind of upset there that all that money was in front.
Stern,
right?
Got my negotiation face on.
You're the agent face and Lawton had the GM face on. So here we go. Our first one from, I don't even know. Bigarzi, something like that. The trade is this. To the Islanders, Jakob Silfverberg in exchange for a 2020 third-round pick. Johnny, you like it? How do you grade it?
I like the idea from the standpoint of the New York Islanders. I grade it a B- because I think Jakob Silfverberg will be one of the better second-tier players that's a potential UFA on the move here, and I don't think a third-rounder a couple of years down the road fits the bill. I like the fit. I like getting a player who's been good in the playoffs, a guy who can get things done. But B- because a third rounder to me in 2020 is not enough, not nearly enough.
A B- is good though. You were telling us earlier that it's gonna be tough to get the report card on the fridge.
They get the call back, and I asked them for a high second rounder in 2019.
So Bigarzi,
for me,
okay with that. Lots. What do you got?
I've just got it incomplete. It's unrealistic to think that Bob Murray is going to trade him for a third-round pick, in my opinion.
Incomplete.
Incomplete. Go back and come back with a real trade.
Okay.
This is when you hang up on somebody.
So
say, do I look like I fell off the turnip truck last night?
No, hang on a second, Lutz. Now, you're the GM of Anaheim right now, and I call you. I'm Lou Lamoriello. I literally call you right now and I say, Silfverberg, you're not going to be able to re-sign him. We know you're rebuilding. We'll give you a third rounder.
Yeah.
You just say,
Lots
beat
hung
it?
up on you.
Where does it go from there? You must at least call back and say, you know, we need.
It would be literally a non-starter. It would be like, Lou, is this really Lou?
Yeah,
Who is this?
It's Lou. So what do you need? What do you need for Silfverberg?
Lou wouldn't do that because he knows value.
What do you need for Silfverberg? What's an appropriate value then?
For me, for a guy like that, first of all, you don't even know if they're going to trade him because they're still fighting for a playoff
we're assuming
spot.
they're going
But
to. Yeah.
If they absolutely made the decision, they're moving on from him.
Yeah.
If you're Bob Murray, you're asking for a first rounder, and if you're Lou Lamoriello, you're prepared to give at least a second rounder. A third rounder is a non-starter. That's why I gave it an incomplete.
That seems like a harsh grade, though, for just one round away.
It's not even a grade.
It's give and take.
It's not even a grade. He dropped the class.
Yeah.
He transferred schools.
That's just an opener. You're going to ask for a prospect, too. It's going to be a second and a prospect.
And I thought the music was going to bring the mood up.
Silfverberg hasn't had a great year, but he's 28 years old.
I'll give you Josh Ho-Sang and a second.
Yeah, that would be something that I believe Anaheim would consider. And then they wouldn't have to go back.
Still done.
And give him an incomplete.
Perfect. See, we saw that stern face.
All right.
The negotiator.
Now, I'm not sure that the Islanders would want to.
All right, we got another one. Holden Rogers on Let's Fake a Deal. You, sir, are up. How about this one? Justin Falk and a fourth rounder to Edmonton in exchange for Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. The Nuge. Lots. Are you going to give a grade on this one, or is this another incomplete?
I'll give it a grade, and I'll go a B, and I don't necessarily think it's... The draft pick is too light for me. I'm like you, Johnny. I like Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. I think he's a valuable guy. Justin Falk, on the other hand, is a guy that hasn't hit a level he was at a few years ago for me, and that would be concerning. I know he's a right-shot defenseman. Yeah. I know that Edmonton needs defense badly, but I think that they can do better on the market than Justin Falk.
Nuge, 2 years left on his deal, $6 million cap hit, so pretty good.
I give it a B as well because the pieces seem to fit. Now, Edmonton's operating a little bit out of desperation because they need a right-shot defenseman who can score. And Justin Falk, while he hasn't had a great year, on the power play as a right shot, maybe some of those numbers come back. Because if he's not scoring, he's probably not quite as valuable as a stay-at-home two-way kind of defender as maybe other options. Nugent-Hopkins is a really good player, but you do have depth in Draisaitl and McDavid. The pick is the difference. So it feels like they're overpaying to try to address a specific need. We've seen this before, Adam Larson for Taylor Hall. So I'm leery of that. If you throw in a better prospect or pick, get that up into a second round or a high-end prospect, then there's more serious conversation to be had.
I agree.
All right, B-, B.
Yeah.
Kind of on the same page.
But like, not bad, though. Not a bad proposal.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
so far,
you're in the ballpark.
So far, so good. From Justin
Falk, you can have
Falk,
a conversation with those.
Okay, it helps to make some decent television, is to be able to talk about things. How about Garrett Falk? He wants Chris Kreider and a third-round pick going to Buffalo in exchange for Alex Nylander and a 2019 San Jose first-rounder. What do we think, Johnny?
What's the lowest grade you can get, Jameson? What's the lowest? Listen, I'm asking you because you probably received one at some point along the way.
Wow.
F-. That's what I'm giving this. Absolutely not. You're going to ask for a first-round pick, and a first-round pick from a couple of years ago. And I know Alex Nylander's had a bit of a tough go trying to get his stride as a pro over in North America. The point is, he's a recent first-rounder and another first-rounder for what? For Chris Kreider, an expiring contract? Lots, you got to be kidding me. Nowhere even remotely close. That's a hang-up, and I might not even return a call if you call again.
So is that worse than the incomplete?
You spelt your name wrong. That's how bad you did. Yes, that's worse than the incomplete.
SAT, if you spell your name, you get at least 200 points, right? All right, Lots.
As a guy that knows his numbers, I like it.
Yeah.
Not as unrealistic for me as you might think. You have to identify whether or not the Rangers are not going to re-sign him, obviously. But if they're moving on from him and you're willing to give up a first, it's not great, obviously, because it's a later first. Alex Nylander, on the other hand, I think you can do better prospect-wise than that. If you could do that, you might be able to entice the Rangers, who I think will re-sign Chris.
Hang on, you think this is unrealistic for the Rangers?
For both teams.
I'm saying this is completely unrealistic for Buffalo.
I think for both teams, the way it's constructed right now, I think there's a strong possibility that the New York Rangers
if Chris Kreider's
re-sign and
so let's just
not
say
entice them to move on.
Let's say they don't. Chris Kreider is maybe worth a first? That kind of player?
No, he's definitely
Right?
worth a first.
So then you're basically asking me to
look
take-
at Rick Nash.
Right. So you're asking
He
me to
got
take...
a first last year, and Chris Kreider.
Is having a
there's
better
some
year than- yeah.
people. Yes, he's having a better year.
So I'm asking me to take a third rounder for a first rounder from just 2 years ago. An 8th overall pick, no less.
Yeah,
that doesn't seem equitable.
The 8th overall pick wouldn't move me that much because you've got to evaluate where the prospect is at right now.
You're not high on Alex Nylander at this second.
I'm not that high on him right now, no.
Understood.
Oh.